Hey, YouTubers, Tazman here, bringing you another episode of Taz Teaches Java. And if you look at the upload dates, you might not notice because this hasn't received lots of views as of yet, this series. However, but if you look at the upload date, there's been like 2 to 3 months gap between the last episode. And the reason for that is, well, if you saw my sad day video, it's because my computer had some major issues. Now, I was able to recover my game drive and everything like that. However, this Java stuff was all sitting on the drive that actually went corrupt. So it's taken a lot longer to get it back up and running. So I apologize for that. But like I said, I don't think very many people will even notice because it hasn't been viewed a lot. This channel's really in its infant stages, and that's okay. So I did have to kind of watch the last bit of my last episode to make sure I knew what on earth we're going to be doing. And it looks like what we're going to be doing is working on guesses. So in the last episode, we kind of completed the words part here. So now we're able to generate a random word. Of course, we're not doing random anymore just because we are sticking this at the end every single time. So if we hit run, you'll see no matter how many times I hit run, it's always going to be that. And the reason for that, I'm not sure if I really explained it well in the last one, is we're generating our entire word list, right? We're getting the word list down here. Then we're assigning it to, well, in get list here. Then we're assigning the size of the word list to the size of the actual word list. And then we're shuffling that entire word list. And then once it's shuffled, then later on we do our getting of the word, and it gets the very last word. So we're always taking off the very last word. And in this case, after we shuffle, we put one more word in there. So this goes on the very end, so we're always going to draw that one. All right, so what we want to do now is, remember, what we were saying is we wanted to take it and make it so that it converts every letter into an asterisk. And every space and symbol does not get changed. They stay, because you don't want to say, oh, do you have a comma? Because that could really make a, I guess that could be a hangman extreme, you know, where numbers and symbols will end up getting changed into things too. But right now, only letters, upper, lower, doesn't matter, will get changed. Numbers, symbols, and spaces will not. So let's go jump into our guesses here. And we're going to start right here. And the first thing we're going to need for our guesses is probably our constructor. Now let's go ahead and do that. Do constructor, constructor. And we're going to start public, public. And this is our guesses class, so our constructor needs to be the same name. Guesses. And let me think really quick. So we are going to want our constructor. So our constructor is going to receive the word that we've generated, or the word that has been selected. So we're definitely going to want a str string buffer. buffer. So we're going to want it to be a string buffer, and this will be our word. So there we go. I don't think, off the top of my head, I don't think it's going to take anything else. I think that should be good. Let's see. So now what we want to do is we're going to want to have a word, and it's going to be a private. We need to store the word that we get into a string buffer up here. String buffer, and we'll just call it word, right? So if we do that, now we can say this dot word equals word. Or do we? No, because it's a new string buffer, we have to say new string string buff buffer word, like that. By the way, I apologize if I cough, snort, sniff, anything like that. I kind of still have a cold that's been hanging on, and I keep grabbing a drink just so my throat doesn't get too dry. So now that we've got the word and we've assigned the word up here, what we want to do is probably create our hidden word. So why not create a function called create, create HIDDEN and word. So here's our hidden word, and of course we're going to pass it word. Technically, we don't actually have to pass it anything because word is now a local variable within our thing. So let's not pass it word. We're just going to call create hidden word, which doesn't exist, so it's going to have a hissy over that. And let's go ahead and checking my notes to see if we're staying on them. So we're going to have down here, now this will be a private. This will be a private function called create, create HIDDEN. Oh, whoops, I didn't, it's not going to return anything because once again it will be a local variable that we're going to create. So we're going to have to go create that up at the top. So create hidden and word. It's not receiving anything because we're not passing anything. And there we go. So now we have this guy satisfied and happy. So what we're going to want to do is we are going to want to create a hidden word. How do I want to do this? Let's do it as another string buffer. Let's just put it below this guy and put 2 character terms there. And this is going to be static. And why it's going to be static is because it's not going to change. Yeah. For the duration of this object that we're creating, which is our hidden word, it's not going to change. Now, when we generate a new hidden word, it will get a new object, and this object will be garbage collected. So let's do PRIVAT. Oh my heavens, I can't spell VATE. So we're going to do private string UFER. And let's just call this hidden word HIDDEN WORD, right? And it's going to, we're actually going to go ahead and initialize it up here as well. And we're going to say equals new ner string buffer, and it's going to be 0. So there we go. So now we have a hidden word that we can use. So now we're going to come back here and we are going to go ahead and do it. So we're going to say HIDDEN. First thing we want to do is make sure that if there's any hidden word here already, there shouldn't be, but we want to make sure that it's clear. So just for giggles, we're going to do that. So we're going to say hidden word, and we're going to say set length, and there, and we're just going to set it to 0. So this is basically, if we want to add a little note here, comment, we'd say CLEAR clear the HIDDEN WORD BEFORE setting it. While we're at it, might as well add a little note here so we can say what we're going to do. We're going to kind of ENCRY. Technically, we're not encrypting, so let's just say so to speak. We're not really encrypting it. We're just simply hiding it or something. We're creating a hidden word. We're ostracizing it, but I don't want to write that. So the SELECT selected word. Okay, so now we've got our variable set up for our hidden word. What we need to do is how do we need, so we need to loop through our hidden word, or our word, not our hidden word. So what we want to do is we're going to create a for loop here. And this is going to be a for each loop, not our standard for. So what we want to return, or what we want to loop through is, or what it's, returning will be a char. So we're going to do that, and this will be letter. Right? So we're going to get back, we're going to go through each letter of our word. So in order to do that, we need to get our word, and we want to convert it to a string, because right now it's a string buffer, and we can't really break it up if it's not a string. So we need to do toString right there, and we also want to do toChar array, which is that top guy right there. So if we do that, what this is going to do is it's going to, for each loop iteration, it's going to take the first, or the letter in whichever element, and it's going to assign it to this. So now we're getting each individual character, and then of course we need to loop. Okay, so let's see, what we need to do then is to say if so I don't want to have to deal with both uppercase and lowercase. So what we're going to do is we're going to convert, when we're doing our thing, we're going to just do everything in lowercase. This will make it a little easier on our check to see if we've got a valid letter. Although it's not actually going to change the word. The word will still be uppercase and lowercase. But when we're guessing, we don't say, is there a capital A, please? And if there's not, if there's an A but it's not capitalized, you miss it. So we definitely want to do that later on. But let's just add a little note what we're going to try and do here. So we're going to say if any special characters, CTRs, any special characters are in the word. Now technically this could also be the phrase. Then let's see, we want to show them. Let's comma there, maybe stick another. No, actually let's do it all in a second. We want to show them, and then say only LETTR letters are hidden. Okay, so how we're going to do this is, like I said, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the character that we get, or the letter that we're getting. We're going to check if that letter is between, so if it's greater than or equal to a small a, or less than or equal to a small z. If it is, what we're going to do is we're going to take our hidden word and we're going to append a star to it. So right now the hidden word we're guaranteed is 0 because of this guy up here. And we're actually going to start creating stars. Now if those rules aren't met, where it has any letter between A and Z, then we're just going to go ahead and output whatever that value is. So let's see. So this is going to be kind of a complex one, but I know you guys can handle it because you're awesome. So we're going to do a character here, CHARACT, character, and we're going to go to lower, yes. So to lower, to lowercase, and we're going to do it on letter. And then let's see, do we need it? Just trying to make sure I get my parentheses all correct. So we're taking character to lower, and it's going to have letter, and we're going to say, is it greater than or equal to A, right? Then we need to also make sure and, we're not doing or, in other words, it'll only do it if one or the other is met. This requires it to meet both of our conditions. So it has to be greater than or greater than equal to A and less than equal to Z. So basically, in fact, we could just take this little chunk right here, do a C, and then do a V, and change this to a Z, and this guy to a less than, like a show. Okay, and then we do that. So that should take any of our letters that are actual letters, and we're going to do something special with them. We are going to simply append. So we're going to say HIDD, so hidden word, HIDDEN, hidden. Are you going to give me my, yep, there's our string buffer, hidden word dot append, and we're going to append a star, like so. Other words, this will be our else, so we do this, oops, wrong one, do this, and do ELSE, and this, and there we go. Other words, we're just going to go ahead and do HIDD hidden word dot append, right? And we're just going to assign the letter. So this will, so to speak, encrypt our word, right? There we go. Now, I can't remember, are we calling this thing? So let's go to game, I think is where it would be. So here we're getting the word, right? Let's see, so we're getting our word here. And then is it in our word that we're gotta remember where it is we're actually encrypting it or encoding it. So I can't remember, did we set up, like I said, it's been a long time since I've looked at this. So if we look, let's just go through the things here. We need it to, oh man, I forgot the phone again. Sorry about that. Because right now we're not doing anything with our guesses. We have to generate the new guesses. We have to create an object for it. So we're getting, actually, what we could do is, okay, so what we could do here, instead of saying words, this right, well, yeah, the W get word, what we could do is word returning private. Sorry, I gotta remember this part. So we have, didn't we have like a get word, get list size, get current list size? So we have this get word, which will return the word. So if we came in here, and I don't think we need the word one. I think what we want to do is maybe change this to GUESSES, guesses. Oh, whoops, it needs. Actually, I'm just going to call it guess. And it's going to GUESS. And it's going to be a new GUESS ES. Just trying to think if this will be what I need. No, I still do need the word. Yeah. Okay. So what we could do is then say guesses and say we need to first, before we do that, we need to have a word object because we do need it to have a word waiting for us. And if we do it this way, we're not going to have that. So we do want to have maybe up here, we'll just do WORD, words, and we'll just do word because that was, yeah, we called it words. And then we'll just say equals new words. So that generates a new word for us, right? And why are you saying that? Syntax, no new class. Words, word, new words. Oh, why have I got that inside the parentheses? Okay, there we go. Oh, we got to get rid of that one. Nope, get rid of that one. There we go. So now what we can do is we can access this object, which is words, right? And we had that get word, right? Or word dot get word. So this will in turn, this is word. Why did I do W? So here's our word get word. Wait, I did that way wrong. This is just word. Okay. Or guess, actually. GUESS. Okay. Why are you saying this? Guess cannot be resolved to a variable. That's because we need to say this. GU. Okay, guess is guess. It's so hard to come back to this so long after. So let's try and run this. I think if I'm right, what this is going to do is it's going to, first, because we have this guy right here, where we're printing our word, or actually no, we're not printing the word anymore. We should get a big long phrase. It's a whole bunch of asterisks with a number 4, a comma, and an exclamation point. Okay, that's not what we got. We've done something different here. So system out, oh, guess, because this is an object. What we would need to do is say guess. Do we have a get wording guess, or is that how I want to do it? Like do it with the string. How do I want to do this? We could, okay, let's do show hidden word or something. Now this isn't going to show the actual word. This is going to show our word that's been hidden. So let's go ahead and how should we do this? Let's just do it really quick and easy. PUB public, and we'll just call it, oh, it's going to return a string buffer. String BUFFER, a string buffer, and we'll just call it show hidden. Why not? And we don't need to pass it anything, but it is going to return something. It's going to return our hidden word. RITU return HIDDEN word. And I think that should make it so now here, whoops, under game, we should be able to say guess dot show hidden. Now let's try this. There we go. Oh, I forgot there's 2 4s. But as you can see, we have the lazy, or no, the, I don't even remember what the phrase was. The quick, the quick brown, that's what it is. So we come down here, we could look at it and make sure it's right. So, oh, a little lower. Nope, I guess we can't go a little lower. So let's go a little higher here. All right, so we have the quick brown T4zzM4NN, comma, jumps over the lazy derby fam! Exclamation point. So yeah, it looks like we got it. So now what we need to do is set it up so that we can guess, and each guess is going to uncover one of these letters. Now this won't be as hard as you might think because we have two identical phrases, right? We have the original word as a variable, which which has all the characters as they need to be. We haven't touched that. We actually created another variable called hidden word, and we have that. So now all we have to do, for example, if we were to say, is there a T or maybe a Z for Tasman? Is there a Z? What it would do is it would loop through. It would say, oh, here's a Z, and it would say this is in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. And then it would simply go to our word one and say, okay, change this value and this value for 18 and 19 of our word, and then it would start filling it in. So that's pretty easy. We don't actually have to go through and say, oh, let's find every Z. Now let's find the Z in the other one and go ahead and change the two. We have a one-to-one relation. Now the one thing I do want to do here in guesses is this is where we're actually going to have our quasi graphics. So I'm going to come down here a lot, and we're going to have a method that will show the hangman state. So we're going to attempt to do this quasi graphically, right? And the reason I say that is it's not with full graphics, it's going to be with ASCII characters. And I kind of have the idea drawn out here. But let's say this will be our method, method, method to show the current STAT state of our hangman, our hangman, and then we'll just call this will be public because we want to be able to access it, and we're gonna say let's see, PUB public, and this is going to, let's do it as a string buffer, string BUFFER, and we'll call this hangman state, right? hangman state, and we're gonna have it pass it the state. So all this is going to do, it's going to be kind of a dumb function that simply receives something based off of what state it is, which will be like 0 through whatever. It will display a little picture. So the first thing we're going to want to do, we're going to have to pass it int state, whoops, state. So we have int state, and there. First thing we're going to want to do is clear, because we're going to have a, we're going to want to have a thing to clear our current, let me think. I think we're going to want to have a, yeah, we're going to want to have a new string buffer that will hold all of this ASCII art, so to speak. So we're going to create something called clear hangman. This will just be its internal little guy. And then what we want to do is we want, why are you all red? PUB, because I don't know how to spell. So we're going to have our clear hangman, and then what we're going to do, we've gone over this before, I believe, a long time ago. We're going to add a switch, SWIT. We're going to do a switch, and we're going to check on this state right here. So STATE, and there we go. So with our switch, we have a case. And actually that needs to be tabbed in. Well, it doesn't need to be, but it looks better. And this will be case. If it's 0, this means it's a brand new game. Hangman has no special state. So what we're going to do is create down here. Actually, I think we're going to have to go create our guy first. So let's go ahead, maybe after hidden word here, doesn't matter where. Let's do a private static static. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. With string buffer, it's fine. stringbuffer. Oh, I actually got it. I thought I only hit it once. hangman. So here's our hangman equals new, and we'll just do stringbuffer 0. So this will be our variable that actually holds our little hangman state. Okay, good. I was like, oh, are we not in? Okay, so what we're going to want to do here is we're going to do hangman, and we're out of time. Dang it. I want to at least get this part done. It shouldn't. Once we get the base part done, it's just going to be copy and paste, and then I'll show you what we're going to do with it. So if we say hangman dot append, and then what we're going to append is our string. So let me go on my notepad here real quick, and we're going to grab our little hangman. And that did not quite work as I wanted it to. We're going to have to delete a bunch of things here. So we only have, let's see, so we have that plus. This plus isn't here. So that's right. But then I want to have this. Now once we get this first one down, it should be fine, right? Oh man, this thing did not copyright at all. So let's do this. Put in like 3 spaces. And then this guy. All right, maybe here's what I'll do. I'll just copy you. Let's see if we can do it this way real quick. C. So we're going to have this guy go here, I think, and do V. Okay, I think that worked because, yeah, that lined up there and that lined up there. So that is right. Then we got to get rid of all these extra backslashes. We're not doing that one. I think that's how we want it, like that. So let's go ahead and hit C. We'll go ahead and hit V here. V. But this time we're getting rid of this guy. And now we should just be able to continue down. C and V and V and V. And then this guy, we might just be able to tweak a little bit here. So let's just do, put that there. Get rid of this guy. So this is the actual base of the noose thingy, whatever it's called. And we can get rid of that. I think that's what we need. Semicolon. Is that right? So we have that. Open, close, open, close. We don't need a new line on this one. Operator plus is undone. Oh, because we have the plus up here. Okay, so now as you can see, we have a really tall looking noose guy, the thing for the hangman. So what we're going to do is then we need to get this. We need to do a break. So we're going to do a break because if it hits case 0, we want it to exit the switch. And then what we need to do is go ahead and copy this. And let's think about how many states there are going to be. So we do V, enter, V, enter, V, enter. So how many is that? So we have 0, 1, 2, 3. I think there's going to be about 6. 4, 5, and 6. So let's go fix these because now it's having a hissy because every one of them are case 0. So we're going to say 1, 2, whoops, 3, 4, and whoops, 5, and 6. And then we want to have a tiny bit of different state for each one of these. So for example, our first one's not going to have anything. When they miss one, they get the head, right? So we'll put an O in there to represent the head of the guy. Then the second one, maybe I should have actually copied these as we went. I didn't think about that. Let's do this. So now we have the O. Let's Control C. We did the hangman append. Control V. And oh man, okay, it's not gonna be worth it. There we go. Can we move all you at once? Maybe we could still do it. So here we're gonna have it maybe do its body. So let's go ahead and highlight that and do a stick, right? Then we come here, Control C. So these are the different states of the hangman. And because there's 6 of these, that means that you're only given 6 tries. After 6 tries, oops, Shift Tab, then you're considered dead. So here we're going to have it be a /. We don't need to escape a /, but it is good to remember we do need to escape the /. So let's go ahead and do that. Control C and Control V. So this one here will have the /. So tab, tab, tab. Now this would run fine, leaving it how it's spacing afterwards. But we want to do 2 there. We want, just to make it look a little nicer visually for us, we line these guys up. So now we have that. Control C and Control V. So this is the, what would that be, right leg? V. Okay, so now we're going to have right here, do I want to, yeah, probably just below that guy, just like that. There's his leg, and then our final one will be his other leg. C. Oh, whoa, 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 I went way too far on that. C. Look at that, our first GUI program, so to speak. There we go, and then right here we want to hit 2 /. And remember that's because we're escaping the /, so it will actually display it. So if we came in here, because we now have our thing, oh, we need to do clear hangman, in other words it's not going to work. Now this is once again going to be a very simple method. All we have to do is basically set our buffer to 0 to make sure that every time we come in it's cleared so that we don't append. In other words, we do like append after case 0, it would append this one onto it, so you'd actually have 2. That would not be good. So we're gonna do P, should we do this as private? Yeah, this is private, I think. We don't need this to be accessed outside. PRIVATE, private, and CLEC, oh man, EAR, and hangman. Oh man. So here's our clear hangman. It doesn't need to receive anything. It's not, oh, we need a void in here. And then we need to do that. And all we're gonna do here, like I said, it's very simply is do HA, and we're gonna do our hangman buffer, and we're gonna set length to 0. And that will basically empty it out. It's going to clear it every time. So now while you read this method must return. Oh, yes. Once we've done all our cases, so here's our last case. We have our break. Here's our end of that. Wait, is that the... I think that one. This is the function, right? Yes. So right here, after this guy, we need to return hangman. You want return hangman. So that's going to return our little picture. So we're going to go ahead and try that. We're at 40 minutes. We're going to go ahead and try that. So if we say pass s out, let's do guess dot, and do we see it right here easily? Hangman state. And so the very beginning of the game, it's going to be 0, right? So if we save that and run it, you'll see we have a completely blank hangman. Now let's say we've missed a bunch of times. Let's say we've missed maybe 3. And we save that and we run it. And now we have our hangman showing our guy. And then of course, if we hit state 6, this is going to be game over because our little guy is going to be all hung. Oh, we need to add another space in there, it looks like. Oh, because the escape character is not counting. Yes, I forgot about that. So on anywhere where we have that backspace, we're gonna have to come in here real quick. This is why it's a really good idea to always do a quick verify that it's running right. We have to do this because this is not actually counting as a character. So it's actually pulling that guy in. If we do that, and now run it, it should look good. So there's our hung guy. All right, guys, I think this is good. We've had we'll call it a special. We're at about 42 minutes. So we covered a whole lot. We got into our guesses. We've encrypted, so to speak, our phrase or word, depending on how we're doing it. And we've also generated some quasi-graphics. Now, just so you know, you can't really clear the screen on this, so what we'll probably end up doing is just sticking a bunch of carriage returns and then having our next one. We also want to keep track of what letters are used. And down here, of course, we'll have our little thing that says, well, I guess this is it, where we're going to show the letters that were right, but we also want to keep track of the letters that were used that were wrong. So we're moving right along. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, if you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Aside from that, comment, like, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Check out my Discord, my Twitter, and all my other stuff. Lots of other channels. My other 2 channels, I guess not lots. And I guess that's it. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.